Hi lovelies, welcome back to Wardrobe Wednesday for episode 2. I hope you enjoyed episode 1 last week. Please let me know how you got on in your comments below. If you have missed out on episode 1, you can catch up on it on my IGTV, and I recommend that you do step 1 before you move on to step 2 today. So, step 2 I'm excited about. Let's get ready for more decluttering. So, today we're going to look at clothes you have not wore for a minimum of 12 months. This could be 12 months to a year to 2 years. For some people it could be up to 5 to 10 years. It depends how long clothes have been sitting in there and not being touched. But a minimum of 12 months, and think really hard about this. And we're looking at items, not outfits. So we're not pulling out full outfits together, we're just looking at individual items. What have you not reached for? What have you not grabbed, you've gone to, you've made outfits from? And I want you to ask yourself 5 really important questions, because I always find with clients that sometimes we can identify, for instance, that they haven't worn this item for a minimum of 12 months. But then it can be quite hard to let it go or to figure out whether to keep it. First of all, yes, we'd look at parts of their style code within that item in terms of, does it suit the colour, does it suit the shape, does it represent their style? But these 5 questions, regardless of having a style code, you can ask yourself and will really give you some clarity on whether you need to keep this item or let it go. So question 1, do you love it? So important, do you love this item? Because everything in your wardrobe you should love. If you don't, first reason to let it go or first reason to keep it. Number 2, does it make me look and feel good? This is even more important, because everything in your wardrobe should make you look and feel good. If it doesn't, then it's a massive reason to let it go again. Does it fit you? Does it suit you? Look at the colour, look at the shape, look at the style. Just, does it make you feel good? If it doesn't, second reason to let it go. Number 3, would you buy it again? So if you were shopping and you've seen this item, would you spend your hard-earned cash on this item and add it to your wardrobe again? If not, there is 3 reasons to let it go or 3 reasons to keep it. Number 4, what story are you telling yourself when you look at this item? So what memory or what story instantly appears in your head when you pulled this item out of your wardrobe? So for instance, you could have pulled it out and thought, oh yeah, I wore this at a festival. Oh yes, I wore this to a wedding. This reminds me of when I was pregnant. This I bought for my honeymoon. So all of these are really important memories or emotional attachments that we have to the items. And it's really important to look at, are you holding on to this memory or are you holding on to the item because your wardrobe needs it? It's very important to distinguish the two, because if you are holding on to these memories and you are telling stories around those items, this is probably why you have ended up with quite a cluttered wardrobe. We need to look at clothes objectively. Yes, it's nice to have memories and it's nice to have things you love about them, but clothes have a purpose, and it should make many more outfits, it should last, it should make you look good, it should make you feel good. That's the purpose of your clothes. Otherwise, we're just collecting a wardrobe full of memories, a wardrobe full of the previous parts of you in your life. And ask yourself if you can hold on to that memory, if you have pictures of it, without the item, because the memory's never going to go away and that time period, but it's okay to detach it from the item of clothing. So very good question to ask yourself, what story or memory am I telling myself around this item? And then the last one, number 5, is it worn? Is it dated? Because if this is an item you haven't worn but you want to start wearing and putting some life back into and some time, then it needs to look like it has enough in it to stand a little bit more test of time. If it's looking a bit worn, then you maybe would have worn it again and you might have kept it, but it's time to let it go for that reason. If not, then you've got 5 reasons to keep it or 5 reasons to let it go. I recommend a number or a minimum of 3 answers, so 3 yeses to keep it or 3 no's to let it go. If you end up with 2 and you're not quite sure, then I've got a little process that I'm going to take you through now, which is going to help you to figure out, you know, whether to keep it, maybe yes or no, should I let it go. So you're going to make 3 piles with these items you haven't worn for a minimum of 12 months. After you've asked yourself the 5 questions, yes is one pile, so this is going to go back in your wardrobe. You're going to look at ways that you can wear this item again, try mixing and matching it with the 4 or 5 outfits you pulled out that you wear most last week. Number 2 is the maybe pile. You may have only answered 2 questions, yes or no, and you're not quite sure whether you're ready or you want to let it go. Pop it in a maybe pile and see if you reach for these items over the next week. If you don't, then I would let them go. And then the no pile, this is questions that you answered 3 or more no's to. You're going to let them go. These need to go to charity or they need to be recycled. You can pop them in a bin liner, pop them aside in your garage maybe. Okay? Hi, so this is a great example of an item that I pulled out of my wardrobe that I haven't worn for probably a minimum of 12 months to 2 years. And I'm going to give you an example of the 5 questions and how I answered these for myself. So, question 1, do I love this dress? Yes, I do. I love it. I think it's really nice. But it doesn't mean that I should keep it, and it doesn't mean that I'll wear it again. So, yes, I love it. So, there's 1. Number 2, does it make me look and feel good? Yes, it does. It suits my figure. I feel really nice in it, but I don't feel like it represents my style anymore. This is quite detailed, quite faffy, and this is a better representation of a dress I would choose now that I would wear for an occasion or I would wear for work or dressing up. Number 3, would I buy it again? No. Now this is really important. So I do love the dress. It does make me look and feel good because when I bought it with my style code in mind. It suits my shape and I feel really good and I do look good in it, but I wouldn't buy it again. That means it doesn't represent my style anymore. It looks out of place when it's in my wardrobe now. It looks really faffy and detailed. I wouldn't buy something with this much embroidery and lace and colour. There's just quite a lot going on. Number 4, what memory or story are you telling yourself around the item? For me, I would say when I look at this, it reminds me of when I first started out with my blogging. The lovely memory I've got attached to it is I won a competition with Karen Millen on Instagram and they sent me a £250 voucher. I was like, wow. And I bought this dress. I think it was £215, this dress. I had my cousin's wedding that summer. I'd had my eye on it and I was so pleased that I could buy it with my voucher. And it was featured on my blog a lot and on Karen Millen. I just remember it being a really exciting time when I was exploring my blog and I was making way on Instagram with Karen Millen. And it's got lovely memories of being with my family at my cousin's wedding that summer. But again, it doesn't mean that I should keep it. I wouldn't buy it again, so that's really important to understand and look at. And then question number 5 is, does it look worn or is it dated? No, it doesn't look worn and it's an expensive dress, therefore I could sell it. I'm going to put this on eBay. Personally, for me, I think it looks dated. I don't think it would look dated for a lot of people because it's only a couple of years old, but on me, I feel like it looks dated now because I wouldn't wear the florals, the lace and the embroidery. This is a more simple representation of what I would buy in a dress from Reiss. So I only answered 2 out of the 5 there to no, to not keep it, but they were pretty important answers and they told me enough about the dress that I am ready to let it go. So it's going to be going on eBay and it's going to be sold. Like I said, you can throw away, you can give to charity, obviously you can recycle or give to charity, or depending on the item, you could give it to a friend or you could sell it on eBay like I'm going to. So I hope seeing that just helps you understand the process that you take you through when you're looking at items in your wardrobe and you're thinking about letting them go or keeping them and starting to wear them again.